Aspen Waite Radio.
So this is Paul Waite from Aspen Waite and proud sponsors of Great British Expos. And the National Business Awards are soon to hit us. And the first person I will be interviewing prior to the awards is the chairman and son of the founder of Shield Services Group, Mr. Luke House. Welcome, Luke.
Good afternoon.
I suppose the obvious first question is, do you think it's an advantage being the son of the founder or a disadvantage?
I think when I first started out as an apprentice, I would have said it would have been a disadvantage. Very much so, because no matter how hard you worked and applied yourself, you were still seen as the boss's son, so to speak. But in a lot of ways, that taught me some very harsh lessons very early on, and it if anything, it created more resilience, and I think it benefited me in the long run. And certainly, having a mentor like my father was definitely advantageous. And
does your father contribute at all to the business now?
No, he's fully retired now. He's my full-time babysitter now.
That's a good thing for Grandad to be. So I guess you sort of, your father went about training you in the right way, so you sort of got involved in every aspect of the business. Is that true to say that?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, definitely. When I left school, I come in at the very bottom of the ladder, so to speak, as an apprentice. And every promotion was earned, very, very well earned, I would say. But yeah, I certainly had an array of experience throughout the business as I progressed, and I think that was purposeful.
And has the business grown over the years, or has it sort of stayed fairly static? Is it changing much?
No, it's grown massively over the years, to be honest. It started off as an insulation company in 1979, and very quickly moved into the asbestos market, mainly because new legislation had come in around asbestos at that point, and naturally the people that used to apply it, your thermal insulation engineers, then natural progression meant they were the ones removing it. So once we got into the asbestos market, that's when it really seemed to take off, and we ended up with probably eight physical offices nationwide that we carry out asbestos removal from. So the growth in the asbestos market has been huge.
So how many millions of turnover do you do from asbestos, would you say?
From asbestos alone, we probably do between 20 and 25 million.
Gosh. And so how far across the country are your offices? Are they in the north? And
so we're down in Truro, Exeter, Bristol, Southampton, London, Cardiff, Birmingham, and Warrington. We're currently in the process of searching some property out in Scotland, because we're very keen to move into that area. And I've got some offices in Belfast that are under construction. That'll be an asbestos-based office.
So what sort of proportion of your turnover would asbestos handling and removal be?
Probably 60%, I would say.
Okay. And very quickly for our listeners, how would you summarise the other things that you do?
We carry out, obviously, insulation still. We're in the marine outfitting industry, mechanical, electrical, facilities management, fire security, demolition, scaffolding, and asbestos licensed scaffolding. So
you personally are up for Business Leader of the Year, and Shield Services is up for Business of the Year. So how did you find the experience? Was it the first time you went to the awards at the Thames Valley and South West ones?
The first time we went was during COVID, so it was actually online.
Yes.
Don't know if that was last year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a well organised event. It's always nice to see your company's name up on the screen. We were fortunate enough to get shortlisted last time, and yeah, we had an enjoyable evening.
So why do you enter awards? You know, for people listening, what do you think is a good thing to do to enter awards, and if so, why?
Yeah, I think it's born out of wanting to. It's the recognition of our people for me. Um, as you mentioned, we've been nominated for 2 awards this time. One that is more of a personal award for me, but it, if I had to choose out of the two, I would much rather win the business one.
Yeah, sure.
Because it is about our people. We've got such a fantastic team that work here at Shield. Um, I mean, first we employ on personality first and foremost. Skill sets can be taught, but personality is key. And if you went over the breadth of our business, you will find good, honest, hardworking, loyal, happy, and nice people. In any branch, you could just drop in and you'll find them. So for me, that is what these awards are about, is the recognition for our people and what they achieve day in, day out.
So how do you as an employer go about instilling that sort of team ethic in your employees? And if you had to say, what do you think that Shield Services Group stands for in terms of its values, etc.?
I think it's a culture. It's a behavioural culture that we instill, in as much as even subtle things like most people's organograms, you'll see the chairman and the MD and the directors at the top of the organogram. We've turned that completely on its head, and I would use the analogy of a tree. The more responsibility you have within Shield, the lower you go. So we work from the ground up. Me as the chairman, I'm underground. I'm soaking up the moisture to help this tree grow, as are the directors, to help these branches grow. So effectively, we work for our people, not the other way around. And that is very apparent when you go about the place. We're a large business, but we're not in any way corporate. There's corporate processes in the background, obviously, when it comes to finance, etc. But everyone in our business has a name. Everyone in our business has access to me and senior management. And there's no glass ceiling in any position in this business. We want people to progress. If there's extra responsibilities to be had, then we don't necessarily straight away look outside the business and employ someone. We look at the potential within the team and say, right, do you want extra responsibility? Do you want to train in this and take on more? And that is how it's grown, and it's very organic. But we feel it keeps people motivated and they like working there. The majority of people like working there.
And do you have a chief executive as well under you or working with you?
No,
So you're executive chairman?
Yes.
Okay.
But I have a managing director for every facet of our business.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, I see. So you've got cost centre bosses, effectively. So if you had to say, what marks out your business from any other business? What do you think are your USPs, your key drivers, selling points, etc.?
I mean, it all depends which element of our business you look at, really. But obviously, certainly with the asbestos industry, I would say we're genuinely market leaders, partly because of our coverage. There's not another asbestos company that has got physical offices that employ local people in where we're situated. No one else has got that sort of coverage. So that's certainly a USP. And we're very health and safety driven. Everything we do is through, for want of a better expression, asbestos tinted glasses.
Very good, yeah.
We're heavily regulated. So everything that we've done, every other service offering we've gone into, we've looked at it through those glasses, and we stand out in our industries because we are driven by health and safety and compliance. In fact, our unofficial tagline is health and safety beyond compliance. that is definitely a unique selling point. When you look at the scaffolding industry, for instance, we certainly stand out there because we put health and safety before the pound in everything we do. But I'm a real true believer that by doing that, it raises your quality, and ultimately the pound will follow. I think everyone should be looking to put health and safety and the safety of their employees and that at the very top of their list. But it is the culture of the business that I think is the unique selling point, really, and it's still got that family feel, regardless of how big we've got.
It's interesting that the way that you sort of deliver that so passionately, it's obviously embedded in you, which is great, because I think culture comes from the top down, or in your case, from the bottom up with your tree.
Absolutely.
So you are the roots with the water coming into it. I guess to some extent in your line of business, you have to invest fairly heavily in new capital projects and technology. Is that right?
Yes, but I think the main investment really for us is the training that we put into our people.
I thought you might say that.
It really is. But at the end of the day, your business is your people.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
And if you want to be the best, then you have to surround yourself with the best people. We always look to employ people that are better than us in every aspect.
Fabulous.
And look to invest in those people. And regardless of what size we've got within the asbestos industry, our aim has always been that we want to be the best at what we do, not the biggest. That, being the biggest has no relevance to us whatsoever. If by being the best that manifests itself into us being the biggest, so be it. But our aim is always about quality and being the best we can.
Brilliant. So what does the future hold for your company? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time, for instance?
So there's going to be growth in our asbestos division. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking to move into Scotland. We are also going to be opening up in Northern Ireland very soon. With regards to the newer elements of the business, I can see fantastic growth there. If you imagine, we've diversified into scaffolding and M&E and fire and security, etc., facilities management, demolition. What that entails, what that means is we've been able to tap into our existing clients that we've built up over the last 42 years. And because of our health and safety mindset and everything we do, it has enabled us to uniform what we do. So regardless of what service offering we're giving, our clients are getting the same quality of service. That is where the growth is going to come from. So I see massive growth in all those areas. And the other really exciting thing for us at the moment is our marine outfitting. It kind of sits outside of everything else we do, and as much as our other service offerings are intertwined, whereas marine outfitting is slightly out on its own, but it's a really interesting one. And we've just won a multi-million pound contract with Babcock. So we're working with the defence industry, which is, we're very passionate about. We've got ex-servicemen on our books, and, we're very passionate about getting them back into Civvy Street, as they call it. So that is moving, that is growing arms and legs, and I think we're getting really established within the defence industry now. And that's where I see us going, really. But all of our growth will be organic. Everything we've done has been organic. We don't take risks. We're a cash-rich company. I would never take I don't take risks. I don't take risks that could ever jeopardize the security of the people within this business. We stay strong. We very steady and organic.
Fabulous, Luke. I have to say, it's been a pleasure talking to you, not least because you and I have very similar cultures, actually. And if you have the time, it would be lovely to have you as a fuller guest on an hour interview show if you were up for that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
It's just in closing. So one of the questions I asked you was, it's quite a hard thing to ask someone. So what's your favourite song? After all, we are a radio station. So and I'll make sure that your song is played at the earliest opportunity.
Fantastic. That's an easy one for me, sir.
Yeah.
It is Good Thing Going by Sugar Minot.
By who?
Sugar Minot.
So I'm not showing my age there. So, okay.
That's an old one. That's a reggae classic. I pronounced his name wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, so I wish you all the best for both the awards next week. And I think you must have a very good chance of winning. But as I know somebody who might know that, I probably shouldn't say too much more. So enjoy your evening next week. And I look forward to getting to know you better, Luke. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Luke.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Aspen Waite Radio.